The M1922MG is the latest weapon to be added to Battlefield 5 and more specifically the support class. It's unlocked by completing all of the challenges within the Hold the Line Tides of War event, which will run until February 14th. To unlock the M1922 yourself, you will need to first play a full round of front lines. You can then choose between arming or defusing a bomb and then going on to kill 15 enemies with a self-loading rifle, or capturing 8 objectives and then killing 15 enemies with an MMG. You'll then need to get stuck in and win a round of front lines before choosing between capturing 3 objectives in a round or killing 15 enemies with any SMG. Once you've completed one of the two, you'll need to earn a total of 25,000 score in front lines, and a decent player should be able to do this over 2 to 3 rounds. Now it seems like a long-winded process, but set aside a couple of hours one evening and you should get it all completed. So now you know how to unlock it, let's talk about the gun itself. The M1922MG is a French machine gun. Developed and tested by the French Army in 1916, it didn't see action until World War II, where it was used by the French Navy. German forces were also known to have used the weapon during the German occupation of 1943. When it comes to the gun's stats in Battlefield 5, there's both impressive and underwhelming numbers. Its damage is identical to all other LMGs and MMGs in class. Its accuracy rivals that of the FG42, but is bettered by the KE7, MG34, Bren gun and Lewis gun. Being a mounted machine gun means it has no hipfire stat, but its control is actually rated as the second best in class to that of the FG42. When standard, its 770 round per minute rate of fire is equalled by the FG42 and outdone only by the MG42 at 900. Its ammo capacity is equally impressive even before being upgraded, with a standard magazine size of 150 rounds, which is 100 more than any of its rivals. I'm happy to say that the options for upgrades are extensive for this gun. There are specialisations to improve both horizontal and vertical recoil, improve reload times by 15%, reduce muzzle flash, increase rate of fire to 900, increase magazine capacity to 250 rounds and a total capacity to 500, reduced overheating effect by 33%, and incendiary bullets for improved damage against aircraft. That's a lot of options and makes for interesting choices when picking an upgrade path. But, and there is a but, how does the gun actually perform? In order to fairly review this gun, I had to change my mindset from aggressive assault player to suppressive support player, and place myself in positions where I could either kill multiple enemies as they pushed into an objective, or provide suppressive fire for friendly players as they pushed towards an objective. Now this wasn't easy for me, but I got to grips with it, and after a while I soon started to find both things I liked about the M1922 and things I didn't. Or, should I say, ways the game holds the gun back. The first thing I need to touch on is that no MMG in the support class right now is able to fulfill its full potential. The bipod mechanic in Battlefield 5 right now is a mess and leads to so many frustrating and gunfight ending situations. Whether it be laying down and your bipod not deploying, your bipod appearing to slip off what it's resting on when you pan your aim, or not being able to ADS when you clearly have something to rest it on, the system needs serious improvements, and the good news is these are coming. But for this reason it was really hard to understand how good this gun could be, as on many occasions you just can't use it. Credit where credit is due though, when I did get it set up properly, more than just a few of its characteristics shone through. The first of which is the rate of fire. I never upgraded the gun to run at 900 rounds per minute, as the standard 770 is already 100 RPM more than the average AR and almost feels like cheating when you get on target. I'm not lying when I say this gun can take down targets incredibly quickly, and will surely only be bettered here by the MG42 or a shotgun. Managing recoil through this fire rate can be challenging though. A majority of recoil presents itself as side to side or horizontal movement with an expected amount of vertical movement. There is a noticeable improvement when upgrading the horizontal recoil within the M1922 specialisations, but only by a little, and is definitely still challenging to manage. What the gun loses in accuracy though is easily made up in ammo capacity. I've never gone so long without reloading a gun before, regularly killing up to 7 enemy players on one magazine, and this shows just how powerful this gun can be when everything goes your way. If you engage an enemy and miss, don't worry, as you'll probably still have 120 rounds left if they come back. However, with all that ammo comes a painfully long reload time. A full reload, considering this gun is belt fed, is quicker than a half reload at 3.3 seconds, about the same as an STG's. However, a half reload will have you waiting a little over 5 seconds before you can fire again. That's almost double that of the STG's. This means you really have to pick and choose when to reload and when to run your ammo all the way down until you find the right opportunity. With the M1922, much like other MMGs, you also have to consider overheating. Fire rate, bullet speed and accuracy will decrease when the gun overheats from sustained firing, and you only need continuous fire for 2.5 seconds before you start feeling the effects. At 4.5 seconds of continuous fire, the gun will seize altogether and stop you from firing until it's cooled down. I didn't run into this problem a great deal, however, as with fully automatic fire comes a loss in accuracy, so sustained fire for myself in most cases doesn't last longer than a second or so. As soon as you do start to overheat though, the loss in performance is dramatic and is enough to stop you from firing right away. Obviously, being an MMG, when you use the M1922, your soldier will feel slower than when using an AR and even slower than when using an SMG, but as long as you take this into account and slow your playstyle down, it's easily manageable. It's also worth me mentioning that with the incendiary rounds applied to this gun, I was doing considerable damage to aircraft when engaging them. I'm not sure when this will really be useful, but there might be an opportunity for a plane takedown if it's already severely damaged. Overall, I've had good times and bad times with this gun, but the overbearing aspect I take away from using it is not about the M1922 itself, but the lack of potential that comes from the currently broken 5-pod mechanic in the game. The gun is impressive in a lot of areas, but is definitely held back by this, and it'll be interesting to use it again once fixes have been applied. Would I recommend this gun? Yes, but make sure you're aware of its downsides, and play to the gun's strengths, not your own. Do that and it will have you grinning from ear to ear, from time to time. I'll leave you with some raw gameplay of me using the M1922 so you can really focus on what it's capable of. I want to thank everyone that has tuned in for this review of the new M1922MG and hope it has given you some insight into what the gun is capable of and whether it's worth unlocking yourself. Leave a like on the video if it helped you, subscribe for more videos like this, and that way we'll see you in the next one.
Attention, we are losing objective easy.
Ich habe eine Handgranate für Sie.